Sam Carter yawned as he adjusted his headset. Another quiet night shift on the U.S. horizon, Earth's newest deep space research vessel. The small gray room hummed with electronics. His job was simple: listen for signals from space. Most nights, he heard nothing but static. Tonight was different. His console beeped. Sam sat up straight, suddenly wide awake. The signal wasn't random. It had patterns, complex, repeating patterns unlike anything in their database. "Dr. Morgan," he called, his voice shaking slightly. "You need to see this." Alice Morgan rushed over, her red hair tied back in a messy ponytail. She'd been the top xenolinguist for 15 years, but she'd never seen anything like this. "That's not natural," she whispered, her fingers dancing across the keyboard. "No star, no pulsar makes sequences like this." She looked up, her green eyes wide. "Sam, this is artificial. Someone sent this." Within an hour, Captain William Grant called an emergency meeting. The ship's small conference room was packed with nervous scientists and officers. "The signal came from near Jupiter," Grant explained, pointing to the display. His square jaw was tight with worry. "And now our telescopes show objects slowing down at the edge of our solar system. Many objects." "First contact," Alice said softly. "They found us." The next day, Earth changed forever. The objects revealed themselves. 23 ships of different sizes and strange shapes. The lead ship, a massive crescent-shaped vessel with glowing blue lights, sent a message in perfect English. "Greetings, people of Earth. We are the Galactic Council, an alliance of 17 advanced civilizations. We wish to welcome you to the galactic community." President Laura Evans, a tall woman with serious eyes, quickly formed a first contact committee. Sam and Alice joined Captain Grant as part of the team. They set up a communications center in Geneva to talk with the aliens. The council's main representative was Ambassador Drix, a blue-skinned being with 4 long arms and eyes that shimmered like silver pools. He smiled too widely when he appeared on the video screen. "We offer Earth protection and guidance," Drix said smoothly. "As a protectorate species, you will receive many benefits: technology, medicine, knowledge, all yours in exchange for accepting our wise oversight." Captain Grant frowned. Something felt wrong. "Why now?" he asked during a private meeting with the committee. "We just tested our first faster-than-light drive 3 months ago. How did they find us so quickly?" Alice spent nights analyzing the translation program the aliens had provided. She found strange code hidden inside. "They're tricking us," she told President Evans, showing her the evidence. "This translation makes their offer sound better than it really is. Protection actually means control in their language." When Evans politely declined the offer and asked for time to think, Ambassador Drix looked confused, even upset. His silver eyes blinked rapidly. "Most species accept immediately," he said. "Perhaps humans require different approaches." That night, Sam intercepted a private message between council ships. The aliens didn't know he was listening. "Humans are unexpectedly resistant," one voice said. "They will require special diplomatic measures. Prepare the second-level offerings." Sam and Alice looked at each other with growing worry. Whatever the council really wanted from Earth, they weren't going to give up easily. The next morning, 3 more alien ships joined the council fleet orbiting Earth. Ambassador Drix appeared on screens worldwide with what he called a better offer. "We see humans need more incentives," Drix said, his 4 blue arms moving in flowing patterns. "So we offer these gifts." The list appeared on screens everywhere. New medicine to help humans live for 300 years. Clean energy that will fix Earth's climate problems immediately. Faster-than-light engines for your ships. Access to all our knowledge and history. The room fell silent as President Evans read the list. Such advanced technology could solve humanity's biggest problems overnight. "What's the catch?" Captain Grant asked, his eyes narrow with suspicion. Drix's smile never changed. "The same condition. Earth must become a protectorate. Council advisors will guide your development. For your own protection, of course. President Evans thanked the ambassador and promised to consider the offer. When the screens went dark, she turned to her team. "They want something from us," she said. "Find out what." Dr. Daniel Wells, a quiet man with thick glasses, spent days studying the historical files the council had shared. He found a pattern that made his blood run cold. "Look at these other species," he told the committee, showing charts on his tablet. Each one accepted protectorate status. Each one got amazing technology at first. Then their cultures stopped growing. In the end, their planets were stripped of resources. Meanwhile, Admiral Susan Rodriguez had secretly ordered scans of the alien ships. "They lied," she reported, placing photos on the table. "These are weapons systems, very advanced ones. The council claimed their ships were only for peaceful visits, but they're armed for war." Alice worked night and day until she finally broke into a secure council communication channel. What she heard confirmed their fears. "They're discussing Earth's unusual mineral wealth and our strategic position," she told the others. "They want our planet, not friendship." When confronted with this evidence, Ambassador Zrix's silver eyes widened in what looked like surprise. "Such paranoia," he exclaimed, waving all four arms. "You misunderstand our intentions completely." The next day, Zrix returned with an even more generous offer. "The Council has voted to extend an unprecedented honor," he announced. "Earth will receive limited seats on the Council itself. No new species has ever been offered this position before." Sam whispered to Alice, "They're getting desperate." President Evans stood tall as she faced the alien ambassador. Her voice was calm but firm. "Ambassador Zrix, Earth appreciates these generous offers. However, we must again decline. Humanity wishes to join the galactic community as equals, not as a protected species." After the meeting, Grant watched the alien ships through a powerful telescope. Their lights flashed in patterns that seemed angry somehow. "They're not used to hearing no," he said quietly. Alice nodded. "And I don't think they'll give up easily." That night, strange energy readings came from the council ships. Something was changing. The aliens were preparing for their next move. Dr. Frank Wilson had been studying the council aliens for days. His small lab was covered with charts and pictures. He called an urgent meeting with the First Contact Committee. "I found something important," Frank said, pointing to brain scans of the different alien species. "All 17 council races share one thing. Their brains are wired to avoid risk and conflict at all costs." He showed a human brain scan next to the alien ones. "We're different. Humans evolved on a dangerous planet with many threats. We learned to take risks and face danger. It's in our DNA." Captain Grant nodded slowly. "So they truly can't understand why we'd choose independence over safety." "Exactly," Frank replied. "To them, our behavior makes no sense. It's like we're speaking different languages even when using the same words." That evening, Ambassador Zrix requested a private meeting with President Evans. Only her most trusted advisors were allowed in the room. "What I'm about to tell you has never been shared with a non-council species," Zrix said, his voice lower than usual. For once, his smile was gone. "The galaxy is far more dangerous than you know," he continued. "There are predatory civilizations in distant sectors, terrible ones. Our protectorate system has saved dozens of species from extinction." President Evans felt a chill. For the first time, she wondered if Earth should accept the Council's protection. Then Lieutenant Grace Chen, a quiet young woman from military intelligence, asked permission to speak. "Madam President," she said, "I've studied the Council's historical records carefully. These predatory civilizations haven't been seen in thousands of years, if they ever existed at all." She placed a tablet on the table. "The Council appears to be using fear to make us accept their control." Evans looked at Zrix's silver eyes. "Is this true, Ambassador?" Zrix's four hands twisted together nervously. "The threat is potential, but still real. Evans stood up, her decision made. Then Earth will face that potential threat as a free world, not a controlled one. Our answer remains no. After Zrix left, Alice turned to the others. Did you see how distressed he was? The Council doesn't know how to handle us. We're unpredictable to them. Back on the main Council ship, the aliens held an emergency meeting. Their voices were agitated as they discussed the strange humans. They reject every offer. They choose danger over safety. How is this possible? Asked the Diraxian representative, a thin creature with gray skin. Perhaps we need to study them more closely, suggested another alien. Their psychology is unique. Ambassador Zrix looked out the window at the blue planet below. They value something called freedom above all else, even above life itself. I cannot understand this. On Earth, Admiral Rodriguez watched the Council ships through powerful telescopes. They're talking about us right now, she said to President Evans, trying to figure us out. Evans smiled slightly. Good luck to them. After thousands of years dealing with only like-minded species, they finally met something truly alien, humans who prefer dangerous freedom to comfortable control. The stage was set for the next move in this cosmic chess game. Neither side was willing to back down. 3 weeks after first contact, the mood changed. The Council ships formed a new pattern in Earth's orbit. More vessels appeared, their engines glowing with strange light. Ambassador Zrix called for a final meeting. This time, he wasn't alone. Representatives from all 17 Council species stood behind him, their alien faces showing various emotions that humans could barely read. People of Earth, Zrix began, his voice colder than before. You have rejected every generous offer we have made. The Council has reached its final decision. He paused, all 4 hands held out in a formal gesture. Accept protectorate status now, or face isolation. No trade, no cultural exchange, no technology sharing. Earth will be quarantined, a dangerous anomaly in Council space. As he spoke, the main screen showed the Council fleet moving into new positions. Ships that had been hidden before now appeared, forming a ring around Earth's space stations and satellites. This is not war, Zrix explained. Just a precautionary measure to protect Council citizens. You have 24 hours to decide. When the transmission ended, the room erupted in angry voices. Captain Grant pounded his fist on the table. They're threatening us. But something strange was happening across Earth. News channels showed it everywhere. Countries that had fought each other for centuries were suddenly united. Old enemies offered help and support to each other. Humanity was coming together against an outside threat. Dr. Morgan hadn't slept in days. Her eyes were red, but they lit up with excitement as she rushed into the president's office. I found something in their oldest laws, she said, holding up an ancient council text she had translated. Any species has the right to refuse protectorate status without penalty. It's in their founding charter. President Evans smiled for the first time in weeks. Call Ambassador Zrix immediately. When Evans cited the exact law, Zrix's silver eyes widened in genuine shock. He had never expected humans to find that obscure legal text. The blue alien seemed at a loss for words. We must consult on this matter, he stammered, before cutting the transmission. The council representatives disappeared into their ships. Their communications went silent, now encrypted with codes even Alice couldn't break. Admiral Rodriguez didn't waste time. She ordered all Earth's limited defenses to prepare. We can't win a direct fight, she told her officers, but we can make attacking us very painful for them. Sam Carter worked side by side with Alice, trying to understand the Council's sudden change in tactics. Why are they so desperate to control Earth? He wondered. What makes us so special? Alice stared at the data flowing across her screen. I think they're afraid of us, Sam. Not what we can do now, but what we might become. As the deadline approached, Earth waited. Humans around the world watched the sky, wondering what would happen next. For the first time in history, humanity stood truly united, not by choice, but by necessity. No one knew what the Council would do when their ultimatum expired. But one thing was certain: Earth would not surrender its freedom. The next morning, Alice received a strange message on her computer. A Council alien wanted to meet her secretly. She told only Sam and Captain Grant, who insisted on going with her. They met at an empty warehouse. The alien was small, with pale green skin and large purple eyes. He looked nervous. "My name is Krill," he whispered. "I work for Ambassador Rix, but I don't agree with what the Council is doing to your world." He handed Alice a small crystal device. "This contains classified files. The truth about why the Council wants Earth so badly." Back at the base, Alice connected the crystal to her computer. What they saw shocked everyone. "Humans have a special genetic marker," she explained to President Evans. "It gives us abilities that Council species don't have, especially in problem-solving and creativity." Sam scrolled through the files. The Council has found other species with similar traits before, but they never let them develop on their own. The files showed terrible images: alien beings kept in special facilities, studied like lab animals, their biology used to make Council technology better, while their cultures slowly died out. "They want to use us," Alice whispered, "just like they used the others." Captain Grant had been quiet. Now he spoke up. "Remember that Council science ship that stays far from the others? I think we should take a closer look at it." That night, Grant led a small team in a stealth shuttle. They approached the lone Council ship carefully, using Earth's latest cloaking technology. "We're just going to scan it," Grant told his team. "No contact." But what their scans showed made their blood run cold. The ship was filled with laboratory spaces designed for human subjects. Thousands of them. Grant's hands shook as he sent the scanned data back to Earth. "This isn't a diplomatic mission. It's a harvesting operation." President Evans called an emergency meeting with Ambassador Rix. She didn't hide their discovery. "We know the truth," she said, showing him the scan results. "You don't want to protect us. You want to study us, use us, just like you did with other species." For the first time, Rix dropped his diplomatic mask. His silver eyes hardened like metal. "Humans represent both tremendous opportunity and danger to galactic stability," he said coldly. "Your genetic advantages make you unique. If developed freely, you could eventually threaten the Council's order." He straightened to his full height. "We cannot allow humans to develop independently. Your biology is too valuable, your potential too great." As he spoke, alerts sounded throughout the human base. The Council fleet had begun active scanning of Earth's defenses. On screens, officers watched alien weapons powering up. "This is not war," Rix said, using the same words as before. "Just protective intervention. For the good of all." President Evans stood tall despite her fear. "Humanity will not surrender, Ambassador. Not to threats, not to force." Rix almost looked sad. "Then you leave us no choice." As the Council ships moved into attack formation, humans around the world prepared for the worst. Freedom had never seemed so precious or so costly. As Council ships moved into attack positions, the world held its breath. But Earth's response wasn't what anyone expected, not military force, but something entirely new. Dr. Daniel Wells rushed into the crisis room, where President Evans and her team were planning Earth's defense. "I have an idea," he said, pushing his glasses up his nose. "If the Council is 17 species united for protection, why can't we create a second alliance?" Evans looked up from the battle plans. "What do you mean?" "Contact other worlds that aren't in the Council. Offer them a different kind of partnership, one based on freedom and voluntary cooperation." 20 minutes later, Earth sent out a message to all non-Council worlds within reach. The message was simple: "We offer friendship between equals. No control, no demands, just mutual support." For 3 days, nothing happened. The Council ships remained in attack position, but didn't fire. Earth's defenses stayed on high alert. Then came the first response, From Nexus, a trading world at the edge of Council space. "We hear your call," their message said. "We too have refused Council control. We stand with Earth." Next came Dorella, a water world whose people had said no to the Council centuries ago. Then 5 more worlds responded within hours. Ambassador Jrix watched in growing alarm as Earth established contact with these independent worlds. Sam intercepted communications between Council ships. They were worried, confused. This had never happened before. Admiral Rodriguez saw an opportunity. She sent a message to Jrix. "We have a new proposal," she said when the blue alien appeared on screen. "Earth will share our unique problem-solving abilities with the Council through joint research, but only as equals with full freedom." "That is not how the Council operates," Jrix replied stiffly. "Then perhaps the Council needs to change," Rodriguez answered. "Because we're not alone anymore." As she spoke, ships from Earth's new allies began appearing at the edges of the solar system. Not warships, but civilian vessels, a peaceful show of support that sent a clear message. The Council representatives held an emergency meeting that lasted 2 days. Some wanted to attack immediately. Others saw the wisdom in compromise. For the first time in thousands of years, the Council was divided. During those tense days, Sam noticed something strange in the Council communications. "The younger Council species are arguing for change," he told Alice. "They're saying maybe humans are right about freedom being important." Captain Grant watched the Council fleet with tired eyes. They'd never faced this situation before. No species has ever challenged them like this. On the 3rd day, Ambassador Jrix requested a meeting with President Evans. His silver eyes looked troubled. "The Council is considering your proposal," he said slowly, as if each word was difficult. "This is unprecedented." President Evans smiled. "Sometimes change is necessary, Ambassador. Perhaps this is one of those times." As Jrix left, Alice whispered to Sam, "We're not just fighting for Earth anymore. We might be changing the entire galaxy." 3 months after the Council ships first appeared over Earth, everything changed. Not with war, but with words. The progressive faction within the Council finally won their debate. They accepted Earth's proposal for cooperation without requiring protectorate status. More importantly, the Council itself began to change. Ambassador Jrix, once Earth's greatest opponent, arrived at the White House looking different. His silver eyes seemed softer somehow. "In 5,000 years of Council history," he told President Evans, "no species has ever forced us to change like this." They stood by a window overlooking Washington, D.C., where people went about their daily lives, unaware of how close they had come to disaster. What humans see as natural: the desire for freedom, the willingness to risk safety for independence, is revolutionary in Council space, Jrix continued. Many younger Council species now demand the same rights Earth fought for. The Earth-led Alliance of Independent Worlds was officially recognized 1 week later. For the first time, there were 2 power centers in the galaxy. But instead of fighting, they began working together. Protocols were established for cooperation on real threats, scientific advancement, and cultural exchange. The galaxy entered a new era of balance. Captain Grant and Dr. Morgan were chosen to lead the first truly equal human Council scientific mission. They combined Council resources with human creativity. Their first discovery, a method of faster communication between stars, showed what was possible when species worked together as equals. As the Council fleet prepared to leave Earth orbit, they left behind not controllers or overseers, but true diplomatic representatives. One was Krill, the aide who had helped expose the truth. "I always believed there was a better way," he told Alice. "You showed the Council that control isn't the only path to stability." On the day the main Council ships departed, President Evans addressed the United Nations. People around the world watched on screens large and small. "We faced our greatest challenge not with superior weapons or technology," she said, "but with something uniquely human, our stubborn refusal to accept limitations imposed by others." She looked out at the delegates from every nation, now truly united for the first time. The council expected us to choose safety over freedom. They learned that to humanity, there is no safety without freedom. That was a lesson this galaxy needed to learn. Sam and Alice watched the speech from the new Joint Species Research Center. Through the window, they could see humans working side by side with council scientists, equals at last. Do you think they'll ever fully understand us? Sam wondered. Alice smiled. Maybe not, but they respect us now. That's enough. As night fell over Earth, people looked up at the stars with new eyes. The universe was wider and stranger than they had ever imagined. But humanity had earned its place among those distant lights, not as servants or subjects, but as equals. The freedom to choose their own path was worth every risk, every challenge. That was the human way. And now, it was becoming the galactic way too. The end.